As you see our race analysis, stages a little short at the beginning, 35 and 35.
But that's the truckers, right? They've got to hustle. Their races are short, and they know they got to go. And there's points at lap 35. There's points at lap 70. So this is really important to make sure you're on the gas from the word go.
And I'll tell you, a ton of Cup guys are tuned in right now. A ton of the teams are. I mean, I know the trucks have raced here before, and the last race we had here for the trucks was at night. But these are those big stages and those big moments for the support series because of all the attention of the Cup teams being here.
John Hunter Nemechek, you ride on board with Nemechek, the only driver in the field who has won a Truck Series race here. Did that back in 2017.
And if you haven't driven a truck, that's a perfect view. I mean, it is so awesome, that visor cam, seeing exactly what these guys are dealing with. You're going to see them not only working that wheel, but shifting gears as well. And this is just me right here. I love watching this. Makes me feel like I'm you, bud.
Stuart Friesen, winner this season.
Another beautiful truck, guys. I appreciate it. We're in a good stretch. Appreciate all the teamwork this week. And still get us another one. I think Spunny capable. Yes, sir. Agree with all that.
Well, it's been a good track for Friesen. He's been top 5 the last 3 races here, and don't be surprised if he's one of those guys you got to beat here this afternoon.
I threw those axes with him, you saw in the pre-race show, and he was very confident about coming here and was thrilled that his Halmar team with their Toyota got that victory in Texas. What a great race that was for them. Back in 2000, Vince, they only had about 1 toolbox come January. They built a team, and now it's a winning team.
Whoa, this is my favorite cam. This is the bumper cam. I like it down on the splitter, and you might end up with not bringing this camera back home sometimes. Fox people really go out on a limb putting that one out there. Love it.
Average starting position of the race winner through the 21 races that we've had here at Gateway is 5th. Christian Eckes starts in that position today. The pace truck is off. Corey Heim, the pole winner from qualifying yesterday, starting on the outside, and Zane Smith, the playoff standings leader, 3-time winner this season, starts inside. And the green is waving, and we're racing at Gateway.
Oh, these starts are very difficult. You can't see through, and you saw almost a big pile up there back in the field, but Heim grabs the lead down into turn 1.
Yeah, nice big arc into turn 1, and is able to carry the momentum off 2, and then here we go. Like this place, there's so many options as far as where you're going to shift, what momentum run you have, and you got to just be able to find that right rhythm now getting into 3 and 4.
And when you're down on the bottom, Vince, your truck wants to get really loose. These corners are very flat, so watch out for side-by-side racing. Could get exciting.
First lap led by Corey Heim.
I'd say Zane was on the front row, and now he's P5. I mean, that shows you check up just a little bit on that bottom lane, and there's a freight train around the outside. That's big information that Cup guys are writing down right now.
Corey Majeski has slipped up there, and also the 4 of John Hunter Nemechek in that white Toyota just out of screen. There's Majeski in the 66. Smith, Chandler Smith up to 2nd. Zane Smith, as Kurt mentioned, has dropped back a couple of spots.
Nice move by Eckes there, down on the bottom, taking care of business. Now watch when he gets to turn 1 how difficult it would be to stay there. Well, Stewart just drives by him.
Yeah, big momentum from the draft on the outside. I mean, that's how long these straightaways are. Wow.
You talked about Zane Smith struggling a little bit at the start. Watch Smith on the inside front row.
But watch behind. Smith doesn't get a great start, but you literally can't see through these trucks, Kurt. Watch the mess in the back. Whoa, I'm talking near miss.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, that's the initial start where the tires are at their best and they should have good traction. It's just, again, like this place, it's so difficult because the straightaways are just perfectly straight, and it's tough to see around to the left or to the right of different racers.
KBM running 1, 2, 3. Heim, the leader. Chandler Smith runs 2nd, and John Hunter Nemechek 3rd.
Yeah, Eckes still trying, get to the inside. Might have position on him now, and yes, Friesen, well, thought Friesen was going to let him slide on through.
That was a big dive into the corner by the 98, and he's going to clear Friesen.
Yeah, he did clear him. Now you got a little bit from the 23. But I'll tell you, right now, is what's been so impressive with Infinger this year is that he doesn't race all that much up front in the beginning stages, but that yellow and black truck, he'll be one of those guys at the end grabbing a good finish.
The top 2 have separated themselves a little bit. with Corey Heim the leader, Chandler Smith running second. Heim, a winner at Atlanta earlier this season, just 19 years old. Chandler Smith running second, also a victory this season at Las Vegas. He also 19 years old. Got a couple of teenagers out front, and John Hunter Nemechek, their teammate at KBM, is chasing them.
The crusty veteran, John Hunter Nemechek. He's on the prowl. He's 24 years old, and we're calling him the crusty veteran.
That's fabulous. We got, I think that was Crafton on the inside last lap, and he still isn't able to make the pass.
How about Colby Howard in that 91? He's done a terrific job. We've talked about him several weeks in a row now. Seems to continue to get a little bit better. Career best qualifying effort this weekend, and started 7th.
Yeah, I talked to team owner Bill McAnally yesterday about Colby and the job he does. They love him. They love his spirit, how aggressive he is. You can see smart too. I think he's learned a lot in the first half of this season. He just let off. He knew Crafton was better right there, and he's able just to let off, roll in behind him. Matt Crafton's a veteran. He's run here 18 times. Colby's relatively new at all this stuff, Vince. So, wow.
Oh,
Ty Majeski with a handful.
I saw him wiggle a couple laps ago. And, hey, maybe the truck's a little bit loose. That's a lot bit loose.
Yes.
You're not going to save one much better than that.
That was pretty sweet to grab that off turn 4 and still keep your track position.
If you're looking for the pylon on the left-hand side of the screen, some timing and scoring issues, so we can't put that up there accurately for you. So we are working on that, and in conjunction with NASCAR to make sure we get the appropriate running order on screen. But there's no doubt about who is out front. That is Corey Heim, but he's being heated up by his teammate Chandler Smith.
Pretty good start for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
1, 2, 3 for KBM in the early laps here at Gateway. Who's going to add their name to the list of winners? Tomorrow on FS1 for the first time, the NASCAR Cup Series heats it up here in St. Louis. Larson, Elliott, the best of the best, looking to be the first to take home that checkered flag. Coverage begins 2 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. And our man Kurt Busch.
I'll be out there jamming some gears with those guys. This place is a lot of fun so far. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out with tire wear and things like that, but we're all learning and watching today.
Still out front, the 51 of Corey Heim, and still being pursued by the 18 of Chandler Smith, with John Hunter Nemechek in tow, riding third.
Yeah, John Hunter, it seemed like he might have been the fastest truck there for a bit, but he's fallen back. There's Rajah Caruth.
Good to see Rajah getting an opportunity in the Camping World Truck Series, making his series debut with Spire Motorsports.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, Vince, and just wanted to run all the laps was his goal, but he qualified inside the top 20 running there now. As this race wears on, I would love to see what kind of progress getting used to the truck Rajah is able to make. Really impressive so far.
Yeah, got to run Bristol, Richmond, and Phoenix as well. How about John Hunter Nemechek? Regan?
Well, Vince, you mentioned he had closed up on the leaders a couple moments ago, and I'm really curious to see, as we are now 14 laps into this race, how this Ford truck starts to run. Eric Phillips telling me before the race that if we can get longer runs, anything over 10 laps, that is where we feel like our strength is going to be. We have a long run truck. So far, the report from John Hunter Nemechek, just a little bit too loose with that truck. Jamie?
And Regan, this racetrack has been a strength for Stuart Friesen in the 52. Best average finish of anybody in the field, but right now he's got his hands full. He slipped back 4 positions already, saying it's tight entry, tight center, and snapping loose. So he'll look forward to getting that truck fixed up on the first round of stops.
Where do you find the trickiest place on this racetrack? Is there one spot over another that's more challenging?
Well, I was just watching Friesen, and the way he set that pass up off turn 2 was almost textbook, and getting the 66 loose. And then he's there in turn 3. Right now, turn 3 is like that easy moment of, or sketchy moment of getting a little loose. And so it's easy to lose track of your speed going into turn 3, but Friesen's able to make the pass, and whoa, pass for the lead.
Chandler Smith to the inside of his teammate Corey Heim, and this is indeed for the lead.
And it started off turn 2. That's what I was believing was going to be the moment of the options are open down there, and you have to start it though on this end of the racetrack. So it's interesting. Turn 2 is got that old school Phoenix feel where the wall wants to jump out at you and make sure that you stay in line.
This is a track that KBM, Kyle Busch Motorsports, struggled at last year, and Corey Heim did his rookie test here, as you see Heim giving up the lead to Chandler Smith. And because he did that test and they were so good at that test, they really believed that all 3 trucks would benefit today. And I think we have seen that with the 1, 2, 3 running order right now for KBM.
Yeah, there they are. Just like you said, Vince. I'll tell you who's been a bit of a thrill ride so far. This guy, Derek Kraus, started last, didn't get to qualify. He's already inside the top 20. He's right behind Rajah in that Napa number 19. Great push forward for this team.
Yeah, that's a lot of passes, you know, on a flat track. So it shows you that you can make up time pretty quick. And what we're seeing, though, is like there's that group of the top 9 that have broken away. And it'll be interesting to see if he can work his way up into the top 10.
20 laps in. First stage, 35 laps. We've talked about the shifting that drivers will be doing heading into turn 1, and here is Nemechek riding on board.
So it's right on board. You're going to see him shift as late as possible right there. Click it down into 3rd, and you can't over rev these crate motors. And it's a quick shift back to 4th. But that inertia that you generate, that traction moving forward is tough to put down. But that push in 3rd gear, getting out of there, super important. And that's why you're seeing the passes off turn 2.
Well, maybe for some that aren't as acclimated to racing and why you would shift, what's the advantage of shifting there?
You know, what's interesting, we heard some of the radio chatter, our truck gets better with the long run. I'm seeing that right now with Stuart Friesen, Kurt. He lost ground earlier. We saw 2 or 3 trucks drive by him. But now that the tires have heated up and the track is changing, then he's getting faster and faster. He'll be an interesting truck to keep an eye on because he's making some moves now.
Oh, for sure. And the big thing about shifting is just because of the size of the corners. That's the number 1 thing.
Out front, KBM, it's a Tundra train with Chandler Smith, Corey Heim, and John Hunter Nemechek. Camping World Truck Series racing from St. Louis on a beautiful Saturday afternoon with Michael Waltrip and Kurt Busch. I'm Vince Welch. Chandler Smith driving the truck he ran in and won with at Las Vegas. He is out front. Meanwhile, Haley Deegan, who finished 7th here a year ago, trying to make her way up through the field.
And she's made some great moves, Vince. She's up 10 spots from the start, so she's got a fast truck. And
There
I think
you go. Nice and smooth.
I think she's got enough of a comfortable cushion between her and our leader, Chandler Smith. She's going to make it to the stage without getting lapped, and it just needs to be steady progress, right, Kurt? You got to make sure you just clip them off one at a time and don't get in too big of a hurry when you start back in the back.
Yeah, you're always trying to manage passing trucks and then not losing track of where the leader is, because the leader's in that clean air coming right at you. And she's been trying to work over Austin when he's in the 22. He's got damage, and she's been right there on corner entry, just not able to make the pass and make it clear. And it's like, hey, let's work together. Let's get the heck out of here and start running away from the leaders.
Well, you could see that damage. That's a part of that wild start we saw back in the back. They got all bunched up, and it looked like he's fortunate he didn't get a radiator issue or a cooling issue, and so far so good. That can't help his aerodynamics, though, with that hood gap like that.
That's going to add a little drag. Just going to make it a little slower on the straightaway. Yeah.
Less than 10 to go here in stage 1.
Definitely change it up a little bit. But, yeah, you know, one thing that the statistician just brought up, if we can go back up front with Chandler Smith, he won both stages at Phoenix last fall. I'm not trying to say this place races like Phoenix, but we got a leader up front that did really good at Phoenix. So, again, this is a track that has that championship type of feel to it right now, and it's because you're gathering notes for Phoenix.
Yeah, with him winning both stages and the race at Phoenix, so many of the drivers, certainly Phoenix is the race that you hear most compared to when discussing the nuances of this racetrack here. And not only does that make Chandler Smith, I got to believe, feel good about his prospects today, but it's one that you look ahead to Phoenix and the championship 4 and think, hey, we got a real shot at winning this championship.
Well, he's the man today for sure. He's driving away from his teammates. Fastest lap on the track last time by. You can see the gap he's put up there. And what a talented young racer. He can win anywhere. He proved that earlier this year when he drove to victory lane in Vegas.
3 straight top 10s, but it's been a while since he won. As Michael said, winning at Las Vegas, that was the 2nd race of the season. So definitely wanting to get back there. We've had 8 different winners this season, and it's certainly been a well-balanced season. I keep waiting for somebody to step out. Even though Zane Smith has won 3 times, I don't know that I would count him as the overwhelming favorite to win the championship. As you see, wow, getting split in the middle. Stuart Friesen in the 52.
He's been really persistent about this pass, Vince. We saw him trying to work the bottom on the 98. Couldn't get it done down there. But now he's able to drive around the top side. And that's a good truck when you can pull that off.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, like the moves that people are making, and then the momentum on the top side. You've got to stay committed on corner entry, middle, and exit. Like right now you're seeing them all the way up, and that helps move your right side tires into fresher asphalt, and that helps gain some grip.
And that also is going to help for competitive passes whether you're racing this afternoon in the Truck Series or tomorrow for the Cup race. You're able to move around, go up high and pass guys. That's really good for the show.
Yeah, anytime you can run optimum lap times off of the normal racing line, that is when you have a good truck.
A couple of Thor Sport teammates, the 98 in that gray truck, Christian Eckes, and the black truck is the 66 of Ty Majeski. A couple of hungry young drivers, Eckes 21, Majeski 27. Majeski, as Mike documented at the beginning of the show, still looking for his first career win. Eckes has a victory. He won at Las Vegas a couple of years ago, but he wants desperately to establish himself as a championship contender and win again.
Strong move for him off turn 4 there as we check out the leader, Chandler Smith, as he's running into Dean Thompson. Timmy Hill, some lap traffic he's got to deal with. These guys are just trying to hang on for 2 laps, Kurt. Let's get through this stage and stay on the lead lap, make some adjustments and try to get back in the game.
Yeah, that 40-56 are going to race the heck out of him. And now Chandler's got to decide. Are you going to push the envelope?
Dean Thompson drove deep into turn 3.
Clear. All clear.
Trying to hold off.
Chandler don't care. He wants everybody to lap down.
Trying to get on the inside of Timmy Hill as they head toward turn 1, and Chandler Smith is going to accomplish that, pull ahead of the 2 trucks and put them both a lap down.
Now that battle needs to heat up for Dean Thompson to get around Hill. He wants to get the free pass. I don't think it's going to happen.
Final lap here in stage 1. Chandler Smith looking to secure his first stage win of the season. It's been a dominant performance at the front for Kyle Busch Motorsports. They've led all the laps so far, and Chandler Smith is the stage 1 winner. 1 stage down and a couple to go. We're just beginning. And for the 19-year-old Chandler Smith, he hopes it stays just the way it's been rolling. Camping World Truck Series racing from St. Louis here on FS1. Glad to have you with us. Presented by Blue Emu. Playoff standings entering this race here today with Zane Smith and his 3 wins sitting on top. How about that cut line? Just, well, now it's 29 points, but still a little bit nervous if I'm Matt Crafton.
I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm looking in my rear view mirror wondering what's coming, because I said earlier Matt DiBenedetto can win one of these things. That would really upset Matt Crafton's plans right now.
Yeah, and including this race, we have 5 more to go. So, I mean, there's plenty of time if you're Tanner Gray to make up 29 points. You just got to take advantage of every opportunity you get.
Yeah, 5 races to go. And 6 points a race on him. If I do the math correctly, that's 30.
Puts him ahead by 1.
Yeah, that works perfectly.
You did that without a calculator. That was pretty good. Yeah, I like the variety of racetracks that are coming up, and that's what helps those first-time winners jump into that playoff type of situation. So again, like it's anybody's game, but you're starting to see some of the regulars that are now separating themselves. And with Chandler Smith winning the first stage of this year, that's kind of hard to believe. But the way that he operated and produced those good results last year at Phoenix, he's on the right path right now.
Yeah, heading toward pit road for the first pit stops of the day, and this is a very narrow pit road.
I mean, this is the entry point. These are very, very narrow lanes, and the boxes are not that big. Like Indianapolis is this tight, but this one is going to be tight. So let's go down to Jamie on pit road.
Well, Kurt Coreyheim in the 51 started on pole, said he just started off too free, wants him to get tightened up so he doesn't get eaten up on the beginning of a run, so they'll do 4 tires here and an adjustment. Meanwhile, the 52, Stuart Friesen said it started to get good drive off in 3 and 4. They're going to make a track bar adjustment and 4 tires, Regan.
John Hunter Nemechek in the Ford truck, needing front turn with that truck right now. Also needs rear lateral grip with that truck, so a little bit of a couple problems for that truck for him. The 18 of your leader, Chandler Smith, right now said put it on jack stands. It is that good. Initially fired off just a little bit free, but it was perfect after 10 laps.
There's the exit. You can see Chandler sneaking out there.
Yeah, he had to dodge the pit crew members, and luckily there was an opening to the outside.
Haley's having to back up. You see the black truck there. She's in a bind.
Oh, wow.
You know, the dodging the pit crew members, as you mentioned, and certainly that's been a storyline with Denny Hamlin and the crew of Joey Logano last week. How difficult is it to get into your box and avoid the pit crew members of the other team?
I mean, you're in that rhythm from the racetrack, and then your pit crew's telling you that you got to get the wheels straight, do all this. There's so much going on with your checklist, and when you're on a new pit road, it's definitely congested, and it makes your mind wander. But let's dial up the 18 and check in with Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith, Kurt Busch, Michael Waltrip, Vince Welsh, Fox Sports booth. You got us?
What's going on, Kurt? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be too biased and root you on, so you got a couple other KBM trucks around you, but hey, congrats on the stage win. Tell us what you got to do to beat the other 2 right now.
To be completely honest with you, we just can't beat ourselves. I feel like we have the race-winning truck, especially right now. Our Safe Flight Charger Me Toyota Tundra is really balanced. Obviously, we checked out there once I got by Corey. I was fighting a little dirty air in 3 and 4, couldn't really complete it. Then when he slipped up, I was able to get by and really show what we had. So really happy with everybody at KBM. They've been working their tails off. It's this whole 8-week span or whatever has been hard on all the guys. So I'm really proud of them. Really proud of the effort we brought.
All right, man. We'll stay in the groove. Best of luck. Finish it off.
Boy, this is a special piece that Chandler Smith's piloting today. He's got 3 career wins. 2 of those wins have come in the truck he is driving today. We'll see if he can keep it up. Back at Gateway, the Camping World Truck Series. Gonna see Grant Enfinger restart up front. He came to pit road 7th, and he took 2 tires when just about everybody else took 4, and Grant has inherited that top spot. We'll see if he can hold on to it here with this restart.
Really? Wow, that's a pretty big gamble.
I'm surprised he took the bottom, too.
This would be interesting.
Stage 2 is underway with Enfinger in that yellow and black truck on the inside. Chandler Smith outside. Christian Eckes took a look.
He's got a block from behind. And he's going to have to try to clear off turn 2 and won't be able to.
Yeah, I like the top in that situation there, but he took the bottom. He's going to slip into second. See how those 2 new tires hold up against 4.
I tell you, anybody that it's like blood in the water. You take 2 and everybody else got 4 and they're like, oh, I'm just going to get rid of this guy pretty quick. But look at him. He got settled. Now he just needs to click off laps and try to run from these guys.
Yeah, some of the crew chiefs I talked to thought 2 would be an option throughout the course of the day today. So I'm sure a lot of eyes on this 23 truck right now trying to figure out if indeed it will be an option moving forward as you ride with John Hunter Nemechek in 4th.
It does take a few laps at flat tracks, like, with New Hampshire, Phoenix, Richmond, this place, St. Louis, for the tires to develop that temperature and to get the maximum grip and maximum lap time. So he'll survive for a few laps, and it'll be interesting around lap 5 to see what happens.
Ben Rhodes in that 99 back there just outside the top 10. Running 11th just ahead of Rhodes is his teammate Ty Majeski in the 66, Regan.
Well, Vince, you guys are talking about 2 tires versus 4 tires. Take a look at the right front that came off of Ty Majeski's truck right here. We've got cords showing on this. They do anticipate this will get better as the race goes on, but this is a truck that was loose throughout the course of that run. As soon as that happened, very tight. And here's the left front, something very unique right now. We've actually got chunks out of this left front. Not exactly sure what would cause that as we got trouble on the racetrack.
Yeah, and that's the 17 of Taylor Gray going around and some contact into the wall. He was running just inside the top 10 after that terrific qualifying effort. Rajah Caruth involved in that as well.
You have to wonder if Rajah might have gotten hit from the back when he slowed down, because he comes sliding past that mess.
Yeah, I'm glad that he didn't end up getting close up to Taylor Gray. I mean, wow, Rajah was a little late to the party, but we'll see. Maybe there's something to happen.
He's able to drive away without any damage. 17 got hit. Yeah, Majeski dives in there. Gray tried to close the hole. That was a little aggressive on the 66 part.
Yeah, that's that turn 3. Like, you can try to back your corner up a little bit, and then, yeah, Majeski was throwing it in there, and maybe this camera will help us. Oh, he just...
Yeah, Rajah just had, he was coming around the high side and had to loop it, and fortunately did not draw contact from any other trucks or get into the wall.
Riding on board with Hocevar. Yeah, just keep her low. Grab a gear.
I mean, that could have ruined his day right there. I mean, if he wouldn't have navigated that successfully. Well, a tough break indeed for the 17 of Taylor Gray, Jamie.
Yeah, the 17-year-old qualified 9th, had a good run going there, and now he said it won't fire. They told him just to hold the gas down and try to hold it wide open, see if that'll just try to help restart things, but he's not having any luck. As you see, they're kind of waiting to tow him back in.
Well, tough break indeed. It's the early laps of stage 2. Rajah Caruth back on pit road. It's a busy summer stretch here in the Camping World Truck Series. In fact, we're in the midst of 8 in a row. How about that busy month of May? And well, of course, now we're here in St. Louis, and we're going to go west out to wine country, visit Sonoma, get to the dirt in Knoxville, and then over to Nashville, Tennessee. Always a good time in Nashville.
Hope we can make it all the way out there on that plane.
On that little plane, we need Kurt. Do you know somebody can hook us up with a little better plane?
I'd like that plane for the Midwest runs. You know, we're just saying you get a commercial flight, boys. Just take it nice and smooth out to Sonoma.
Carson Hocevar came to pit road, and his team looked at the damage on that right rear.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we're trying to get to the right rear quarter panel, and that wing, the way it's flared out, I'd leave it just the way it is. That's going to create a ton of side force on that truck. Might make them too loose back, or too tight back there. Yeah, that was that quick hit just on these restarts. Again, single file, it's a straight front straightaway, and it just, people get bottled up.
Race car drivers are looking at that and saying, give me some of that. That right rear quarter panel hanging out where it says Mobile 1 there, that's more side force, and these fans are loving the action. We got a good view of them from behind here up in the TV booth, and when they throw the green flag, they love the action.
You know what's fun about that moment, though, with Hocevar is you don't know it as a driver. It's up to the crew chief to really tell you what you got back there.
There's Rajak Haruth was involved in that incident, spun around but didn't make any contact.
Sorry about that, fellas. Just charged too hard, and then there was a truck in there too. So
All good, man. All good. We're just down a set of tires now, so we'll just have to do some finagling, that's all.
This will be a challenge, but something that if he survives and races his way back through the field, Kurt, I think it's something very valuable for a young racer making his first start to learn how to navigate all that traffic.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like his voice on the radio was calm, and he knows that there was a mistake, and now it's like, all right, let's figure this out and dig back out of it. And I mean, you could have put on scuffs there and just, you know, just ran to the end of this stage, but hey, he's got stickers on there. Let's see what he's got here, and they could even stay out at the end of this next stage.
You know, we talked about Hailie Deegan. She was making some moves through the field. There she is. She's currently up to 21st. Now on pit road for her first stop, she had some issues. She got blocked in her pit. There was either some confusion about 2 or 4, but you can see right there the one truck. You don't mind if I use your drum?
No, you're good. You're on it right now.
She's pitted there.
Oh.
You see the truck ahead of her. She can't get out. And so then she backs up. Now she goes to the end of the lead lap trucks.
Yeah, you can see the jackman. He's like, I thought we were doing 2. And then the crew chief called the audible because she was blocked in. Now we're just going to put 4 on it. And so, yeah, all your track position's gone. But hey, that happens, and that's what makes it tough on these tight pit roads.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of what you talked about early in the race, how tight things get down there.
Yeah, the expectations for Hailie were certainly high coming into this race after finishing 7th here a year ago. Getting ready for this restart. It'll be Chandler Smith and Grant Infinger up front. Chandler Smith, by the way, chose the outside, as when last time around when it was an opportunity to choose. Infinger chose the inside, and maybe we're getting an idea that the outside row is the preference. You got a radio drag in there out of the AMR safety truck. Somebody's going to be missing that.
I got the wedge wrench, though.
Kurt, is it good that the 23 on those 2 tires ran a few laps and had a caution? Does that even the playing field, easy for me to say, for him?
I'm afraid that this helps the others that took 4 cold ones. Now they have 4 that are optimum on their temp and their grip. I think he might get chewed up and spit out on this one.
Boy, Infinger right there in the KBM Hornets nest, too, with Chandler Smith, Corey Heim, and John Hunter Nemechek surrounding him. Let's see what Infinger in that yellow 23 can do on this restart.
Well, at least he avoided getting 3 wide on the initial takeoff. Let's see what happens off turn 2.
Yeah, if he was able to get clear there, which he's not, this is where Heim and that outside draft, all of them are just going to start zooming on him. But we'll see. I mean, he was able to put his elbows out and hold position last time.
Look at Stuart Friesen sneaking into the battle for the 2nd position.
Comes Nemechek in to go side by side with Friesen, battling for position there. That's position 4, and side by side remains Heim and Infinger for 2nd.
I tell you, it's a good battle. You know, he moved up the track a little bit, whether he was trying to do that or not.
It worked, whatever happened.
It did. It gave him the spot. He's now clear.
Infinger into 2nd. Now Friesen's going to challenge Corey Heim.
And it's the best news for Infinger. These guys now are side by side. Nemechek wants some.
And there goes Friesen slipping up high, and here comes John Hunter.
Oh,
to
Nemechek not going to work.
He's going around. Oh,
Nemechek. Oh, and a lot of them are around, and there's some pretty good damage.
The great bottleneck.
Wow. Mess
of St. Louis.
Boy, Nemechek tried to stuff it in there 3 wide, and it just didn't work.
He's done.
That left front hit pretty hard, yeah.
Shake and bake.
Man, it's all this was action off of turn 1 and 2, and Infinger slid up and then took the momentum away from Heim, and then all those guys back there just started going all which direction.
Well, and Friesen slid up too. As you see the damage to the 66 of Ty Majeski, wind waiting to happen. It's going to have to wait another week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Well, let's take a look at it and watch Nemechek in that white 4 come up underneath 52 of Friesen and just
tried to hold it down because Friesen slid up the track and then diamond the corner back down. John Hunter was committed to the bottom. Look at the driving some of these guys do to get by, just barely scraping by, but then other guys were hit from behind and joined this mess.
Boy, Nemechek, this has not been a good track for him since he won in 2017. In fact, his last 2 races finished 25th and 22nd, and it's going to be a tough finish here today for John Hunter.
Yeah, John Hunter's got the left all the way down on that curbing, and clean air on the nose, and just too many trucks in one spot, man. And that's a tough spot. If he was maybe making that move earlier in the corner, then Friesen wouldn't have been on his way to chop him back down.
It's unfortunate for Majeski too, because he had pitted because he had some contact with Taylor Gray in that previous incident, and that's what stuck Majeski back there in the mess, and he gets caught up in this incident with John Hunter Nemechek. So some bad luck for Majeski on board with Nemechek.
And this is where it starts. Watch what Friesen does. He gets in the corner, slides up the hill.
John Hunter's looking at his chops. He's like, I'm going to go in here.
3 bottom.
Too much curb. De-wedged the truck. Truck came around on him.
Just a racing incident, or did Nemechek get a little too aggressive there?
Maybe a slight bit of impatience. I mean, but when the hole opened up, he's like, I'm going to go for it. But the hole may have been just a bit too small. I don't know. That's what we call racing. Everybody's going to pass people and get to the front.
That's why we love the sport. John Hunter's not loving it so much right now, though. We're at stage 2 at Gateway. Catch it tonight, Baseball Night in America on Fox. The 1-2 punch of Trout and Ohtani taking on Harper and the Phillies. Or maybe you'll get the Cardinals battling the Cubs. All begins tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area.
You know what channel I have mine on.
Yeah, up here
Fox
with the big
and the
Cubs. The big Cubs fan, Kurt Busch. And
she's going to be pulling against you, Kurt.
That's all right. I like her hat. That is cute.
Camping World Truck Series racing here at Gateway, and a little creativity on pit road.
This is fabulous, right? Gold star, right, Mike?
I say 100%. Innovation at its finest. How are you going to fix this? A ratchet strap will do the trick. Check this out.
This is like, why hasn't this been done before?
How are they this innovative? I've never seen this.
This is great. I hope this is able to get them up past minimum speed and they can get some points, because the way that they went about this, like, this is a game plan of repair.
Yeah, credit to crew chief Joe Shear and his group there on the 66 team for Ty Majeski.
Let's go.
That's great.
Well, on this restart, you've got Chandler Smith on the outside and Grant Enfinger still hanging in with those 2 tires. Hasn't had a lot of green flag laps, but he is coming out ahead of that exchange. We'll see if he can last.
I like it. He's been able to survive thus far.
Got a nice push there.
That's
Christian
Eckes. Yep.
Nice job by Christian not to put him 3 wide.
2 KBM trucks on the outside, Chandler Smith and then Corey Heim.
I'm really interested, Vince. We've run so many caution laps in this stage. Look at this move. Grant's going to try to take the lead.
Are you kidding, man? Is he going to be able to go for it? We'll see what he's off turn 4.
So the 66 and the ingenuity of the ratchet straps. We understand NASCAR has said no, you do not. You're going to come to pit road.
Well, that's a bummer, but I mean, this battle for the lead, this is way more intense and way more
a little contact, maybe,
than I thought we would see out of 2 tires versus 4.
And he's going to be able to get. I would hop back in line right now and just get second.
No, he's pushing. He should be pushing way harder on that side draft.
I don't like this.
That's going to be a little sketchy here in 3 and 4.
Wow, what a race by Grant Enfinger.
He is wheeling it. And now you got to get in there. You got to side draft him, bud. You got to side draft him. Not slide job, side draft.
2
That's
tires.
what I was just saying.
And around he goes.
Come on.
And Chandler Smith going with it.
Hold the brake. Still coming inside.
Mikey, you were holding your breath all the way down the straightaway. You literally saw that one coming.
Yeah, he should have pulled in behind the leader off turn 2 when he had a chance. Just maintain what he had. That wasn't a good decision there by Grant.
No, you got to sometimes push your chips in and go, all right, I got 2 tires. We're way ahead of where we were running. And now you've got huge damage that it's going to be way too much to overcome. But he's not side drafting him right here to try to hold position. And they both drive down in there. And this is a product of the St. Louis track. It's just the way this place races. It's very loose on entry.
There was nothing Chandler Smith did wrong.
Nothing.
He didn't try to chop him down. He gave him plenty of room. And you can see Grant's just up the hill and out of control.
Well, it's got to be particularly disappointing for that 18 group, Chandler Smith and crew chief Danny Stockman. They believed they had a truck to win here today, and now he's got damage. 2 of the top 3 to win stage 1 involved in accidents here in stage 2. Camping World Truck Series Racing. Hey, look at that. I think that might be your guy into the wall.
Oh, no.
Well, we had 0 cautions in stage 1, and we've had 3 because of accidents here in stage 2.
It's like the 24 hours of stage 2. There are tons of good trucks that have wrecked and have trouble now.
That was Nemechek and Chandler Smith that you saw in that incident. They were running 1-2 at the time. John Hunter Nemechek has taken his truck to the garage. Look at Enfinger. Oh. How about some radio from the 18 of Chandler Smith?
Go feet up this spotter. All good. We're fine. Deep breath here. Next side is not going to do us any good. Fix it. We're going to drive back to the field, and we're going to be fine. Fine, Chan. Get your composure back right here.
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
And you know, I don't blame things like that on spotters. Like, spotters are up there to assist you. If you wreck, that's your fault. You've got
100%.
to hang on to your truck. You've got to be in control. I don't know why beating a spotter up would help anything.
I love the composure of the veteran spotter, Chris Lambert, and veteran crew chief, Danny Stockman, advising the teenage driver, Chandler Smith, calm down, be patient, we're okay, let's go.
What do you think, Kurt? I think they're still in great shape. I don't see a lot of damage to that truck.
It's not terrible, but again, like Chandler was just out there walking the dog, and he's got Enfinger down there just, you know, elbows out on the 2 tires trying to get the lead. But I mean, it's tough. He had a really good truck, and now it took away a really good percentage chance of a race win. And so now they got to go into survival mode and see what they can scrape up.
Chandler's teammate John Hunter Nemechek had a good truck too, but he's in the garage with Regan.
Well, Vince, he did have a very good truck, and now officially out of the race, unfortunately, John Hunter. Looked like you had the hole, went for the position, it just closed up on you.
Yeah, it did. That one's on me. I put myself in a vulnerable spot and should have known better. Should have leaned on experience for that. But it's so hard to pass today here. Our Toyota Tundra, I felt like was fast. All KBM trucks were really fast, and now none of them are up there. So just got to run down the back straightaway. The 51 was on the 52's door, and 52 got sideways. They both slid up the racetrack. I thought I had a hole and went for it, and it's arrow loose underneath. I hit the rumble strips as well, so just closed, and it's on me. Sorry to all my guys at KBM. Thank you to Mobile One, all of our great partners that help us do this. Looking forward to going to Rebound next week at Sonoma.
Thanks for talking to us, John Hunter.
Well, you really pour salt in the wound here when you look at the standings, because John Hunter Nemechek came into this race with a 7-point advantage over the 99 of Ben Rhodes in the regular season point standings. And if you win the regular season championship, that's a 15-point playoff bonus. It's like winning 3 races. So huge turn of events for John Hunter Nemechek in this situation. The other KBM truck, the 51 of Corey Heim. Let's get the latest with Jamie.
Yeah, quite a few trucks ended up pitting there, Vince. So I came down to check in with Marty Lindley, the crew chief, and he said they just wanted to try to do this for track position. At the end of the stage, obviously, they will stay out. He said it's just so hard to pass. We need to try something. And he also said, big picture, our biggest competition is in a lot of trouble. So if we could just stay the course, get that track position, we got a good enough truck to get it done today.
Yeah, that's a lot of interesting scenarios and thoughts going on in the minds of these crew chiefs, I'm sure. By the way, the 66 of Ty Majeski, we told you NASCAR said no, those straps aren't going to work, so they brought him in, and they added
a lot of duct tape.
I don't think that'll hold.
There's still
duct tape
another roll.
versus a spoiler. I'll take the spoiler every time.
At the speed he's going right now, and there you see the tape is left on top. The big roll of tape is left on top. I don't think that's going to work.
I mean, that's some 200-mile-an-hour tape, but you're supposed to apply it a little bit different. And then we have some trickery here. Some guys pitted before the end of the stage, and then we got the Rhodes group and Lucius that stayed out. They did this last time,
and you know, I think
snaked a stage win.
I really believe that the call to win the race was to pit right there. We only got 4 laps left in the stage, but you mentioned playoff points, Vince. You want to get all those stage points that could lead to you winning the regular season championship.
So
that is some aero advantage / disadvantage.
I would call that, as you've said before, a hot mess is what that is.
It almost looks like a dirt late model, the way it's all twisted up and moved around.
Well, we've got a couple of Thorsport trucks up front, including the 88 of Matt Crafton, and it's been a little bit of an up and down season for the 3-time champ.
It started down, then it went up.
It's up.
And now, unfortunately. But, you know, good run through the 3 through.
Some good consistency from 4 to 9. Just need more strength, not necessarily just consistency.
Yeah, that truck just hasn't been up there contending for wins yet this year. So right where he needs to be right now, though, up on the front row.
It's been a good track for him. He was second here a year ago and in position again as we come down to these final couple of laps here in stage 2. And you see on the right hand side of the screen there those that have been involved in incidents today, and some big names on that list.
That's just in stage 2. That's what I was saying. It's been a long stage here.
A lot of drivers came to pit road. 9 stayed out. And the number 1 of Haley Deegan in that 11th spot, she took just 2 tires. So we'll see if that track position gamble pays off for her. 2 laps left in stage 2. Thorsport at the front with Ben Rhodes and the 88 of Matt Crafton. Derek Kraus on the outside in the 19.
That's Chase Purdy in the 61, 6th place finish here a year ago, so he likes this place up in the top 5. Hopefully we can get this thing run out here without running over each other. Haley to the bottom, trying to grab a spot. She's going to be 3 wide into 3.
She's going for it. I like it. And Hosfar on the outside, though. Again, like, everybody's pushing hard here to gain this track position for when the stage comes out. We got 1 more lap to go in this stage.
Ben Rhodes leading Matt Crafton. Final lap of stage 2.
What about the strategy 2 weeks in a row by Rich Lucius, leaving that truck out, and is going to take advantage of those stage points?
I like the call, and then Crafton, he'll scrape up some good points here as well. Kraus, I mean, right now they just want to go 1, 2, 3 right now and grab these stage points. That's what we're going to see. Nice and smooth through 3 and 4. And those guys, that's how you execute as a team.
For Ben Rhodes, it will be his 7th stage win of the season, the most in the series. And he'll get that playoff point to take on into the postseason. The defending series champion, Ben Rhodes, positioning himself for a potential 2nd win of the 2022 season. Two stages complete. Watch Haley Deegan here and Stuart Friesen. Kind of squeezes Friesen a little bit as we're The final lap of that stage 2, and then Friesen expresses his displeasure.
Ooh. Oh boy, yeah. I mean, Haley squeezed him a little bit, and when you do that to a dirt racer, they're going to tell you all about it.
And he wound up with damage on both sides after that.
Yeah.
That into the wall and then off of her fender.
Yeah. I mean, that's good racing. Let's go down to Jamie for some pit stops.
And Ben Rhodes started back in 15th, worked his way all the way up to the #1 spot, got himself another stage win. Said his biggest complaint is he's just tight through the center. They'll free him up as you see that adjustment right there in 4 tires. The 61 of Chase Purdy, that was his best stage finish of the year, so job well done to the team. Needs a little bit more front turn, 4 tires, small air pressure adjustment, Regan.
Matt Crafton in the 88 truck is very tight through the center of both ends, wants help to be able to roll that middle and have a little more speed. And Derek Kraus, they feel like they have a hole in the nose of that race truck. They're going to look at that. Said he's absolutely getting destroyed off the corners, and he thinks that's a part of the cause.
That'll do it.
And see, now this is an easy pit road right now. I know we talked it up earlier, but half the trucks pitted before the end of this stage break, so kind of clean things up down there on pit road.
Let's see if we can get a hold of Ben Rhodes after another great call by crew chief Richard Lucius. Hello, Ben Rhodes. It's Waltrip and the team from Fox. Do you copy?
Hey, Michael, I got you.
Will you give Lucius genius status this week after that stage win you just pulled off? That's some strategy.
Yeah, good strategy by Rich for sure. You know, I don't know if we have the fastest Tundra here today, but certainly it's a battle of attrition, and we're just trying to run a smart race. And Rich showed that with good strategy right now. So I need to keep it clean and try to get in front of these wrecks instead of being behind them. When we started 15th, we had to dodge quite a few. So we need to make our way back through the pack here and get back to the top 5.
Well, I know you know how valuable those stage points can be, so make it a great day and have a victory at the end. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks so much, Michael.
Well, we showed you that incident between Haley Deegan and Stuart Friesen. How about some Haley Deegan radio coming your way right here?
I'll break up right now.
Hey, that talk we had earlier in the shop, you accomplished it. Left front flat, 52. He's got a lot more to lose than you. Keep that in mind.
Well, maybe a little drama starting to build as we enter the 3rd and final stage, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Gateway. the tallest stainless steel monument in the world, the Gateway Arch. And we're in the shadows of it here at this terrific racetrack in Madison, Illinois, just across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. And boy, it has been an action-packed day. Camping World Truck Series Racing brought to you by Blue Emu. 630 feet. And windows on each side of there at the top that you can go up and take a view out.
If we have another stage like we just had, we can stock up sheet metal for 634 feet. Just like the stainless steel arch.
Haley Deegan gotten herself up in the mix, and she'll be on the front row for this restart.
This is good stuff. You know, we were just like showing her having a beef with Friesen, and then with pit strategy and other people bailing out on what they're doing. Here you are, front row.
And she's had a fast truck. We talked about her problems on pit road. She's able to work her way through the field. Good strategy with the pit stop when she took it. You could see a little bit of damage on the right front there. See how that works. And damage on the right rear of the leader, Hocevar.
And right behind Haley Deegan is Raja Caruth. So some interesting personalities and the dynamic up there toward the front of this field, with Carson Hocevar restarting on the outside.
Yeah, we got Hocevar in his right rear quarter panel. Let's see how this goes.
Corey Heim giving him a little shove, and the 38 of Zane Smith has gotten up there as well. Heim going to the bottom, looking for the lead from Hocevar side by side.
Hocevar gets it wound up off turn 2, and is he going to clear Heim?
He will, because the draft is coming on the outside. Zane Smith pushing. That 42's got a lot of built-in drag. Haley to the inside.
Haley Deegan making it too wide and trying to get that spot from Corey Heim. Heim gave her a little bit of room and still going to fight for it. Just underway, third and final stage.
Yep, this is again where, I mean, there's a lot of new names and faces that we're seeing up here, but these guys and girls, they're making it work.
For the lead, Zane Smith continuing to challenge Carson Hocevar.
Hocevar will have a run, but I don't think he'll be able to clear him.
And Haley's able to clear behind these two, so there she is coming into the scene.
Deegan in third, and Raja Caruth hanging around in there as well. Good run for Caruth, making his series debut. Side by side for the lead, Hocevar and Zane Smith, neither one giving up.
I am seeing something special about this racetrack. Are you guys seeing it? The corners and how tight they are. Both ends are very different. The straightaways and the arrow and the side drafts that these guys, you can't complete your pass just like you would at a short track. You got to deal with the long straightaways like you're at a big mile and a half.
Corey Heim now coming up to challenge Deegan and grab that third place position.
And she's under attack by Raja on the outside. He ducks to the inside now, and Christian Eckes clears Haley off turn 4.
And Matt DiBenedetto getting up there in the mix as well. And meanwhile, the battle continues side by side at the front.
I was just going to say, meanwhile, back at the front, they're still side by side for the lead. This is awesome.
Zane Smith in the 38, a 3-time winner this season. Carson Hocevar still looking for his first career win. He's been oh so close, runner-up 3 times.
And there he is again, right up front, just like we expected. He doesn't really qualify that great, Vince, but always seems to find a way to the front.
Eckes challenging Heim for third.
That was a powerful move off turn 4 to get on the inside of Heim.
Zane Smith starting to gap Hocevar a little bit now. You know, Hocevar left the house this weekend and forgot to bring his helmet bag, so he had to borrow a helmet from Ross Chastain.
Need help. Just don't leave your entry too open where they get air. They put a little rear brake in.
Had to borrow Hans' device from Lawless Allen, and he is out there and taking care of business again toward the front.
He didn't forget his pirate hat, though.
He didn't forget that lead in his foot either.
And then we just heard from their crew chief on the 42 talking about rear brake, help dial it in a little bit to try to change your handling on corner entry. You got to deal with what you got to deal with. And when the crew chief starts throwing advice, it's tough sometimes because you know what you're feeling exactly, but they're trying to help add in to make sure you got the lap time.
What about Chandler Smith? We saw him in the outside wall, and now we see him driving into the top 10.
Say what? He's already top 10 again?
Yeah,
wow.
We talked about it wasn't a lot of damage, and he had such a fast truck. He's probably thinking, I'm going to win this race.
He's on a mission.
That's DiBenedetto in the blue and white 25 just ahead of him. First time in a truck here at Gateway for DiBenedetto, although he has run a couple of Xfinity races here through the years, but a good run for Matty D.
What a story this would be if Chandler Smith could rebound all the way and win this race. But the fastest truck, other than our leader Zane Smith, I think, is this 98 of Christian Eckes. He's just really made some great moves. See if he can finish this pass against Carson.
Eckes has had some good runs here back in his KBM days. He had 4 starts for Kyle Busch Motorsports, led nearly 100 laps, in position to even win a couple of times. Never got that win, but he's no stranger to good solid runs here at this racetrack.
Kurt, what are you picking up you're going to apply tomorrow? I can see how tough it is to run that bottom. You think there's a groove out there on the high side, and how do you take advantage of it?
Yeah, I was just getting silent watching the way Eckes made that move, and then you just slide up, take the air away from that guy, and make sure that they're in the dirty air wake. But Jamie's got another report on the 98. Let's listen in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talked to Christian yesterday, and he said, this place is fun to drive. He said, it's just been horrible to me. In 4 starts, I haven't finished a single one. But, guys, he has put in the work because he's the only one that lives in Charlotte. He does the simulation. He literally took the setup from all of his teammates and himself and ran it in the simulator. So he said, if they're all bad, they're going to blame me, but I'm going to look like a hero if they're running well. Right now, he's doing a great job himself.
Well, you know, he doesn't have a win yet this season, but he's been so close. In fact, he's led at the white flag the last two races and didn't win either one of them. I mean, he could be coming in here on a 2-race win streak, running up front again.
That'll make you hungry, won't it?
That right.
Being that close.
Must be all that sim work. Yes, actually, I was very surprised of the sim when I was prepping for this weekend, that the shift points and things we were doing were pretty close to real life.
It's been a good run for Eckes for sure, but boy, he's got the rear view look at Zane Smith. Smith by more than 1.5 seconds out front. Stuart Friesen, 15th, starting to make his way back up through the field.
I'm seeing a lot of guys running way up the track, Kurt.
Especially in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
There's something to it, like that fresher asphalt above the groove where everybody's been.
How about that Spire Motorsports truck of Rajah Caruth making his series debut here this weekend? I've been impressed with him.
You know what was so impressive the first time I met him? I mean, there's a lot of kids coming up and through the racing ranks, and I'm at a Charlotte test for the next gen car, December of 2020. This kid Rajah comes up to me as we're packing up. It's 11 p.m. at night, and he waited all day to come and find me, and he goes, hey, how can I make my way up in racing? What do I need to do? Which series? I go, you're doing everything right if you're standing here at 11 p.m. right now in the middle of December. Keep digging. Keep that passion and keep pushing, buddy.
How about it, Regan?
Well, Kurt, to your point, that's the same thing his crew chief Kevin Bono Mannion told me earlier today. He said this kid's work ethic is absolutely amazing. He has the desire, the drive, and is doing everything right when it comes to getting behind the wheel of that truck and studying. The goal today was to simply finish all the laps. Anything after that would be gravy. Well, right now, things going very well for this number 7 truck.
Hey, and while we're talking about Rajah Caruth and making his series debut, how about Garcia in the 35? Jake Garcia, 17-year-old from Monroe, Georgia. The Chevy folks very high on this prospect. Again, making his series start here today. Mason Maggio, the 3rd member of that group that's making their Camping World Truck Series debut. All teenagers.
I love the youth that's coming into the Truck Series. This is your first step to getting to Cup. You come to the Truck Series and win races, then you progress to the Xfinity.
I love it too.
Oh. 44 of Chris Wright bringing out the caution.
After the 33, there's a gap.
There you go.
Go to the bank, First National Bank, to get a loan on that thing.
Driving it away, and Wright will take it right to pit road.
I like that. Get in there quick, try to get the damage fixed up. But yeah, we were talking about those guys making their first start. This is the place to do it. It's not a mile and a half, and it's not a crazy short track where things are bottled up. This is a great place to come and get experience for your first race.
I think this pit road's getting ready to be a busy place.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, 67 to go. Is it too early to hit that last pit stop?
There's some strategy that could evolve out of this caution flying right when it did. They can sneak their way maybe to the finish on fuel, but what about your tires?
Looks like the 3 of Jordan Anderson and the 44 of Chris Wright. I don't know if they actually had contact or...
And again, that's that turn 3 region where things start up as far as that loose on entry. And if you're on the inside, it's
look at this. 3 or 4 laps before that incident, you had Tyler Ankrum.
Okay.
A little nudge there, and Chris Wright trying to get it, arms wrapped around it.
And there goes Jordan Anderson. He was right around Wright when that happened.
So heavy damage to the 44 of Chris Wright.
I don't know. That's a good question. What do we do? What are these crew chiefs? This is a really tough call to make. And wouldn't you stay out and save some tires?
Well, we've seen guys with all the different strategies thus far surprise us. The 2-tire call earlier for Infinger, he was able to battle for a couple restarts, and then on that final where he made the mistake, it took away their track position. I don't know. I think it's a little too early.
Yeah.
How many sets of tires do they have laying down there? We'll have to check in with our pit reporters.
Mason Maggio, by the way, gets the free pass, the 33. There's the damage to the 23 of Infinger. You know, it's so close, Mike, to making it, and if you get another caution, you know, that's probably going to save you. I mean, I think you gamble here, don't you?
Well, we know how important track position is. We saw, as Kurt said, varying strategies be able to hold on to their positions. So I believe those tires, that's the last set of stickers laying there. I think they go directly on these trucks right now.
Yep.
That was with authority, Mikey. I'm with you on that. Now I'm starting to believe 4 tires are the way to go.
Well, let's ask Regan, because he's down there with boots on the ground, as they say, checking out what these crew chiefs are thinking. Regan, what's happening?
I'm not sure I'm going to have the right answer right now, Michael, but I can tell you if they do pit here, there will be no sticker tires left for any of our front runners. This will be their last set. They will have to glue up what's on the truck if they want something for later on in the race again, if it comes to that.
Well, I got to believe with track position being what it is, you come now, you're not coming again. You can't afford.
That's
I don't
what it's going to be. You're going to have to survive all these late race restarts that I think are on their way. But look, everybody. I mean, it is like everybody. 52 maybe. Friesen stayed up.
Starting with Friesen.
Wow.
Stuart Friesen's going to look in his mirror and say, "Where did everybody go?"
Are we making the right decision here? Going to be hero or zero, that's for sure. They're coming to pit road, and it's a long line of them. First one there waiting is Jamie Little.
A lot of takers here. Christian Eckes, J-Rod Prince, his crew chief, said, I don't know, man, we're 5 laps short. What do you think? And the feedback was there is some fall off, so they decided to come. They're going to take their last set of sticker tires, as Regan talked about, and make an adjustment. Meanwhile, the 42 talked about fuel only and that adjustment there. They're going to save that extra set of sticker tires till later, Regan.
Zane Smith, your leader in the 38 truck. That truck was tight in traffic before. They got him out front. He's still too tight with that truck right now. We need some help for that. And the 18 of Chandler Smith, he needs more rear grip on throttle. Obviously, a little bit of damage to the back of that truck, probably hurting it some.
Wow, so Hocevar electing not to take tires fuel only and saving the tires. Interesting plan of attack for the Nice Motorsports Group.
St. Louis Rams.
The Rams? That would be the Buccaneers? Rams? Bengals.
Oh, it was the Rams.
Broncos?
St. Louis Rams.
No, Colts.
49ers.
The Seattle team.
The St. Louis Arcs.
Somebody needs to take Ben Rhodes to NFL camp. And of course, the hockey team is the St. Louis Blues, the former football team, the Rams, and if you want to go way back,
the Cardinals.
The St. Louis Cardinals football team. That's right. Jamie Little.
Well, Carson Hocevar, you saw that call there for fuel only. And I know, Kurt, earlier you were wondering about the damage to this truck that he got earlier in the race and how it's affecting him. So I checked with the team. Phil Gould said it has helped them with speed, but it's made him tight, but they were able to make an adjustment there. So we'll see if that'll balance everything out.
Yeah, that's key. If you can make an adjustment with that little arrow thing that he's got going on, that, I mean, again, that's rear side force, and that's what's making that truck stick from the rear. It makes it a little bit tight. So maybe with an adjustment, some clean air.
So Carson Hocevar, fuel only. Stuart Friesen out there. He stayed out as well.
Woo, that was a tight spot Zane was looking for.
What a dive bomb that was that nearly went wrong.
Yeah.
Carson's able to clear the fourth place running Derek Kraus, but Kraus is going to poke his nose to the bottom. Here he comes.
Yeah, he is.
Kraus trying to make the move on Hocevar, and here comes Eckes with him. And remember, we believe everybody out there is short on fuel as well. So this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. We've got 60 laps to do it.
Kraus overshot the turn, got sliding up. Luckily didn't take Hocevar with him. Now Matty D comes to the bumper.
How about Tanner Gray in the middle of that as well? He's moved up inside the top 10 in that black 15 truck. Oh, Hocevar, some contact again with Zane Smith.
Something's wrong with Smith.
Yeah, he's way off the pace.
Is that a flat right front? Is it down on the right?
It looks that way. I mean, that splitter is attached. Man,
another one of our.
He didn't make it to pit road.
Yeah, another one of our outstanding drivers and championship contenders with a problem. As Zane Smith is slowing down. He was running 5th at the time. Meanwhile, the 51 and the 15, it's Corey Heim and Tanner Gray for 5th.
It's a great battle. Tanner Gray, nice run here at St. Louis. See, Matt DiBenedetto talked about him being a potential first-time winner. He's up in the top 10.
With enough good trucks right now, having trouble. It's opening up the door to a bunch of people. So let's go down to Regan for some more on the 38.
Kurt, you guys saw the contact for the 38 of Zane Smith. That is a right front tire, and yes, he missed pit road. He's going to have to lift all the way back around and lose a ton of time here.
Going from bad to worse in a hurry.
Boy, what a tough day it has been. John Hunter Nemechek's had issues today. Chandler Smith with issues today.
Yeah, with Nemechek, I mean, with Rhodes, that was a huge point swing where Nemechek wrecked. Rhodes was able to pick up the stage win. I mean, Zane Smith, trouble.
Actually,
points in all directions.
Here's the contact with the 38 of Zane Smith. That's Smith in the rear part of the picture.
Oh, he gets into Carson Hocevar, and that just cut down his tire.
It was like it cut it down immediately.
Yeah.
There was no give whatsoever in that one.
He made it to pit road without the tire tearing up his truck, so it's going to be a lap down, maybe 2.
And then at the front of the field, you've got Stuart Friesen trying to outrun Ben Rhodes.
Doing a heck of a job at it, too.
Yeah, Friesen did not pit. He stayed out.
Look at that line he's running. Man, I know a bunch of Cup guys are going to be racing here tomorrow. Got their eyes wide open, seeing that he can make speed that high in 3 and 4.
That's huge. I mean, if you stay out, you're on old tires, you know you're going to end up on the tight side with heat cycles in the truck series. Cup cars, we've been trending towards loose, but he's up there finding new asphalt to find speed and find grip.
Well, early in the race, it looked like the 18 of Chandler Smith had the best truck. He's led the most laps, Regan, but he's got damage. How's it rolling?
Well, Vince, he also drove back to the front there on that last run, but under that last pit stop, an extended stop to try and get fuel in that truck. They're struggling because of that damage on the left rear to get it full of fuel. The report just now to Chandler Smith was, we think we are 20 laps short, even with staying on pit road longer, trying to get it filled. Still a fast truck, up 6 positions since the restart right now.
Wow. And speaking of those pit stops, too, we want to add Rajah Caruth was caught speeding on pit road. So if you've been rooting for Rajah and wondering what happened, why is he running back 18th, that's the situation.
What a battle it is right there at the backside of the top 10, trying to break in there. Currently running in the 10th position is Jordan Anderson. This is a home game for his sponsor. And you see he's battling in the top 10 ahead of Matt Crafton. Got some great racing going on.
Yeah, this track, its character is starting to show up. I mean, I'm here racing with it this weekend, and these straightaways are changing the game on how you draft.
There's Jordan Anderson in that 3 truck. He's being heated up by Carson Hocevar there off turn 2.
There you go.
Nice run off the corner by the Bommarito Automotive Group truck.
That and Purdy just moved Ankrum out of the way. Turn 2 is definitely where you're wanting to generate the beginning of your passes.
And if I'm Jordan Anderson right now, I do not want to be looking in my mirror because they are lined up trying to get that 10th position away from him. He's driving hard right now.
And that fuel only call for Carson Hocevar, at least at this point, doesn't seem to be working out. But remember, oh, and he's going around Crafton. Matt Crafton got into the 42 of Hocevar. Running back in the 11th spot, and the caution is out.
Why do I keep getting crashed?
Yeah, he did.
They don't like your right rear quarter panel sticking out that far.
He did just get spun out, but he did a great job again hanging on to it. But guys, this could be a break. This could be a break for Carson Hocevar. He got spun around, but he needs a caution. He needs tires.
And Mike Hocevar's got those tires because he came and got fuel only, so he can put on a fresh set right here. And others that can't make it to the end because of fuel, they've got to pit and get more gas, right?
This could be huge for Carson Hocevar, getting bumped out of the way by Crafton. And just hanging onto his truck, not getting in the wall, coming down to the pit road, get you 4 fresh tires. He's going to have 10, 15 laps fresher tires.
Yeah, this could be a huge window of opportunity for those guys. It's just funny. Like, anytime a truck, I'm in a wreck or I have damage, I always ask the crew chief, does the TV panel look fine? Does the back bumper look fine? Because if it's all wrinkled up like that, and you're seeing that as a driver, you're like, oh, I got to go around this guy. He's got way too much damage. That's why everybody's running India, bud.
Now what does Stuart Friesen do? Is this when he comes?
I mean, he can't make it on the fuel, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't make it on fuel, you got to come here, right? And,
Well, yeah.
and the one thing I would say about Hocevar, though, and you guys tell me I'm wrong here, Hocevar might have wanted some more laps to run off, because these guys that did pit, that was only 10, 12 laps ago. So you'd like to have had a little more run on their tires if you're Hocevar.
Well, and you'd also like to not get spun out, Vince. I mean, so he didn't want that caution at all. But now that it flew, Phil Gould, that team's got to say, listen, bud, this is a break for us. We're going to have the best tires on the track, and we're going to win this race.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, though? There's still 29 trucks on the lead lap. That's pretty wild. After all the problems we've had, and you pit now, you're going to be stuck way back there.
Opening 36 laps were green in this race, and only one green flag stretch over 10 laps since then. So you got to believe that there's probably more cautions coming. And you see there on the pylon the number of laps since each of the drivers last pitted.
I don't know. Friesen could stay out and just gamble on another yellow.
Man,
statistics say
it's too many trucks on the lead lap, I think. I think he's got to come now and get it.
4 tires, half in, right rear. Half down, right rear. 4 tires.
That's the 52 of
4 tires,
Friesen.
4
How
tires.
about some Matt Crafton team radio from the 88 camp as they get ready for this stop?
What do these guys think? These cops across your nose, you're just going to live, you punks.
There's always 2 sides to, well, generally 3 sides to any story.
He's the enforcer, Mr. Matt Crafton.
Coming to pit road, let's see who's taking care of business down there. We begin with Jamie Little.
Well, Stuart Friesen pits from the lead. He last pitted on lap 76, so they felt like they had no choice but to pit. The problem is he's out of sticker tires. He's putting on some old tires that have a few laps, because remember, he cut that left front on stage number 2, so they're down. Regan?
Jamie, this caution, a good break for Chandler Smith. We had just mentioned he did not have enough fuel to go the distance. They're going to attempt to get that fuel in this truck right now. Also wants an adjustment. Truck is not turning the way that he wants it to at this moment. Jamie?
Ben Rhodes, they were talking and discussing about coming in, but the 42, Carson Hocevar, that had that issue just came in. Remember, he saved that set of sticker tires, so after that incident, this could be a good thing for them.
Wow, there's a lot happening. How's it going to shake out? We're going to find out. 50 to go from Gateway. Hey, tomorrow on FS1 for the first time, the NASCAR Cup Series right here at Gateway. Larson, Elliott, Kurt Busch, the best of the best, looking to be the first to take home that checkered flag. Coverage begins 2 o'clock Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
You know, there's always that saying, like sometimes the Saturday race wrecks a lot of stuff and then the Sunday race is a bit more mild. That's what I'm hoping for.
What about the problems the 18 was having here trying to get gas in this?
Dominant early, Vince. Got turned around, bent his truck up, drove back to the top 5, and now he's having trouble getting gas. Does he have enough to make it to the finish? It's going to be close.
Less than 50 to go. Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes, a couple of Thor Sport teammates up front. Corey Heim. How about Derek Kraus, Tanner Gray up in the top 5? Johnny Sauter in that 13 truck. Doesn't run too many races, only a handful this season, and he is up there in the mix as well. Matt DiBenedetto, Jordan Anderson, all in the top 10.
You know, and all those trucks are clean. You know, no damage. Let's try to see if they can make it all the way to the end with no damage.
Great jump for Rhodes.
Only thing we really haven't seen so far today is teammates wreck each other.
Oh, the great jinx of the Fox booth.
Surely that won't happen.
Derek Kraus around the outside getting that second spot from Eckes.
That was a great move. Corey Heim's not able to keep up the pace on the bottom. Can he slide inside of Tanner Gray there? Yes, he does.
Go 3 wide.
Sauter on the outside with Tanner Gray in the middle and Corey Heim down low. Yeah, 3 wide indeed.
He didn't like that, not one bit.
Sauter now working on Corey Heim in that 51. How about Johnny Sauter, 5th all-time on the Truck Series win list, 24 career wins, and running a part-time schedule this season. His most recent race at Martinsville, he ran 2nd, and here he is up inside the top 5, battling with Corey Heim.
He's like that phone the veteran kind of guy. He'll give you a call, put you in there, get you a solid run.
Former Truck Series champ. How about him, Jamie?
Johnny Sauter's just so old school, Vince. He's a dad to 4 kids. He's spending a lot of time at home doing all different things, but comes off the couch every now and again and comes to race. And I asked him about simulation, like how are you getting up to speed in these trucks? He goes, I gave up simulation last July. I leave it to the kids and I show up and I just drive it. And he's doing a heck of a job once again.
Well, and his former crew chief, or Matt Crafton's former crew chief, longtime crew chief, Junior Joyner, working with Johnny Sauter on that part-time basis.
What about the rebound for Raja? Had a pit road speeding penalty. Now he's up battling for a spot inside.
I mean, he's running 10th.
Yeah, he's in the top 10 looking for a spot here.
Solid comeback. I mean, there's so many different strategies playing out right now, and the way this restart went down, I think finally everybody's ready to settle in, but who knows?
Well, the 18 of Chandler Smith and the 52 of Stuart Friesen right there around the top 15, and well, a lot of full contact racing going on there, Regan.
A lot of full contact racing, and also to update the fuel situation for Chandler Smith, Vince, they believe they got 30 pounds of fuel in it on that last stop. I'm no Larry Mack, so I don't know the equation as to how many laps that is, but I can tell you the calculators are smoking down here trying to see if they're going to be good to go to the end of the race or not.
Sounds like enough. 30 pounds.
Call me
fuel
up.
6 pounds a gallon.
Call me up and tell me when I need to stop if it's not enough.
So Rhodes and Kraus, Tanner Gray, all put on 2 tires at their last stop. And we saw Grant Enfinger put 2 tires on early, and it seemed to work for him.
It'll work as long as you get clean in a way on restarts. But if you get stuck side by side, that's when there's that iffy loose on entry.
But if you get that track position, and if you can use those 2 tires to get the track position, I think it could work for you.
That's what the guys up front are hoping for right now with that whole leapfrog.
There you see Derek Kraus. He's right there on Ben Rhodes, so close to victory at Darlington.
Mike, we said it at the beginning of the race. I mean, you said Derek Kraus needs to win. I mean,
Yeah.
he's 52 outside the cut line coming into this race. I mean, he's not going to point his way in, and here he does. Here he is finding himself in a position potentially to do just that and win this race.
He started last. He didn't qualify. I talked to team owner Bill McAnally yesterday, and he said, we know we have the speed to win. We've just got to execute all day long. Well, what happened in qualifying? They didn't even qualify. So they said, well, we're not off to a good start, but obviously have really maximized this race today.
Definitely has. I mean, you just got to try to hold this track position right now. If there's other yellows that come up, you got to be able to charge in there. No, you're not going to have lane choice, but you got to get the best out of it. So he's right there, same position.
Matt DiBenedetto in that 25 running 7th and looking for maybe his best finish of the season.
I like this graph. It tells you how the ups and downs of the truck series take place, and not a whole lot to hang your hat on there for Matt DiBenedetto. A couple of good finishes.
But look, it forms a W,
yeah,
doesn't it?
I picked him to win, so maybe he just did that in honor of me.
Tanner Gray 6th, and there is DiBenedetto pursuing.
Such a talented racer, and he's just a notch off of having the speed it takes so far this season to win.
Yeah, Matt Crafton right there behind him in 8th. Wow, 39 to go. How's it going to shake out at the finish? Going to take a break, but you won't miss a thing. Going to keep it side by side from Gateway. You saw it, Colby Howard in the 91 with that heavy damage to the left rear, was running 16th. By the way, the free pass goes to the 38 of Zane Smith.
Really? Zane, he was 2 laps down, and now he's back on the lead lap.
Man, just gets loose. Running in the 16th position.
That was a weird getting loose. With the arrow being okay on the right side, but maybe his truck was just handling that way, and maybe spike the brake. Sometimes you can spike the brake at the apex of corners that are this tight and get the rear to kind of steer for you.
Would that have been a chance maybe that he downshifted right when that happened as well?
Very good observation. Yes, that is right where you'd be downshifting.
Well, he's coming to pit road with a bent up truck.
Man, a lot's going on here today. Plenty of time to sort all this out, right, Vince?
Indeed.
All right.
Rich Lucius on the radio with his driver who leads the race, Ben Rhodes. We're going to take advantage of the opportunity, hit one more break, and come back for the finish.
Baseball is Cardinals. I have no idea on hockey. I didn't even know they had a hockey.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals and Blues.
I watch race cars going around in a circle. I don't watch people hit.
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Blues.
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Our Blue Emu race summary. It's been an exciting one today, and Ben Rhodes has found himself to the front. John Hunter Nemechek out of the race. Ty Majeski 29 laps down after heavy damage. And it's been an interesting day for the 18 of Chandler Smith as well. A little conversation back and forth with the crew chief.
Let me do my thing. You crew chief, I drive.
Just asking questions so I know what to work on.
Because I'm having to drive from the back to the front to the back to the front to the back to the front. It's the same damn set of tires.
It ain't over till the checkered flag, brother. You just keep doing your thing, all right?
Back to the front, back to the front. That's fun to say.
Yeah, Chandler Smith spunky on the radio with Danny Stockman.
If he makes it all the way from the back to the front again, it's going to be a big celebration in Victory Lane.
He's a little fired up, that's for sure. And that's, I mean, that happens though when you have a really good truck and then you're just working your tail off. And I mean, it's hot inside those trucks. I mean, I like defending drivers.
Yeah, you drivers.
Yeah, then there's that button that we just don't really have to press.
All right, how about it here? Derek Kraus restarting on the inside. He's never won before. Ben Rhodes, the defending series champion, jumping out to the front.
That inside.
Wow.
That inside lane has such a responsibility. I mean, it's like it's Martinsville as far as how you got to block to make sure you don't end up 3 wide.
ThorSport had 3 of the top 5 here last year, and right now they run 1-2, does ThorSport. And Johnny Sauter is in 6th, so 3 of the top 6 for ThorSport currently.
Got Heim making a move on the inside, and then the Benedetto is back there lurking. Is that a good word? Lurking?
Yeah. Corey Heim in that 51 was our pole winner today, but and led 17 laps early, but has not been to the front since. Trying to get back there.
What about Christian Eckes running that higher lane? Options for these guys to try to work some stuff out. Matt Crafton with a nice move down on the bottom. He takes the 8th place away. Look at this battle. 3 wide into 3. This usually doesn't end great.
It's back around the 10th spot. The 7 is Caruth. Carson Hocevar in there. The 18 right there is Chandler Smith. Stuart Friesen next to him in the 52.
And Hocevar, this is a set of stickers, right? So he's going to be able to charge his way up. And I like Raja Caruth's move there. He's 3 wide, rookie on the outside. Let these guys go. That was a good move by the 7. And look, he's trying to put it back up. Oh, no, I was just trying to help you out. A little bit wide off turn 2, bounced off the fence.
Not bad, though. We're all right.
Yeah, that's going to do a little damage.
Caution's out.
And caution is out to debris, we understand, down in turn 1.
All right, not too bad on the 7th.
So we'll back it up and do it. You know, when you're Raja Caruth, though, you just want to run the laps, don't you? Or either one of the other 2 guys that are starting this race in their very first truck start.
Well, I mean, now you're getting down to less than 30 to go. It's your first start, and you're feeling comfortable. I mean, he was running in the top 5 at certain points due to pit strategy. I mean, he just turned 3 and 4, very wide. Turns 1 and 2, very tight.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Kurt, how that turn just kind of jumps out at you when you come off turn 2. A lot like the old Phoenix used to. That wall would scare the heck out of you. And it's interesting also, I talked to Raja yesterday and he said, I'm used to running cars with composite bodies. I could bounce off the wall and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I know I've got to take care of the right side of this truck. That's where all the aerodynamics take place, is the right side of the truck, front and back sides. But, you know, it's an important part of the puzzle.
That's cool. All right. That means he's not afraid of racing hard, rubbing, and getting some damage. That's a cool part of it. But clean it up a little bit and make sure you're keeping your fender straight. That's a key thing.
Yeah, Raja Caruth coming to pit road. We saw Jake Garcia there making his
16th.
first career start as well. They were running 15th and 16th together, and Mason Maggio was back in the 29th spot, also making his debut. So while Caruth comes to pit road, we're going to get set for this restart. Go back to racing and settle it out. Who's going to win it today in St. Louis? everybody that has come to pit road just to do a little bit of repair, maybe pull a fender, as was the case with Rajah Caruth. Grant Infinger's truck is all taped up, and well, we have seen some big name drivers with some big issues today, and that leaves us with a couple of ThorSport guys up front, Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes, and how about Derek Kraus lurking there inside the top 5 with an opportunity for his first career win. But how about Rhodes in that 99, Jamie?
Yeah, his weekend didn't get off to a great start. You know, he was going to practice and qualify the 16 Cup car for A.J. Allmendinger, who's in Portland in a race coming up after ours today. But just a few laps in, he had a tire going down, got into the wall, so they had to repair it. Then he came over here and qualified 15th, so it didn't get off to even a better start. But today, they made some good adjustments on that truck. They're good on the long run, but they've made it a little bit better on the short run as he continues to run up front here, Regan.
Well, Jamie, how about Matt DiBenedetto having another solid performance in the 25 truck right now? Hey, all day long they've been battling a loose race truck right there. Excuse me, that truck has been loose all day long. They finally got that truck where he is happy with it. A couple moments ago came on and said the balance is good. I really like what I got right now.
And Mike, you said at the beginning of the day you thought he was a guy that could win today.
He's got the experience, the knowledge, everything it takes to be a winner. He just has been lacking that last notch of speed, just another tenth or two of speed in order to be a real contender.
Interesting here on the choose, the two ThorSport trucks, Rhodes and Eckes. Instead of Eckes taking the front row spot alongside Rhodes, he's going to line up behind his teammate, and that puts Derek Kraus on the front row. Okay, Kurt Busch, you're racing this track tomorrow. What have you learned from the truck race that you're going to file away for tomorrow?
I mean, we knew this racetrack had different ends. You know, turns 1 and 2 is very tight. 3 and 4 is a bigger sweeping corner, kind of like Loudon. Reminds me of Milwaukee, but the outside and the way they're able to generate some momentum on the top side, that goes into these big, long straightaways. So I raced here 22 years ago. I thought the bottom was the way around, and that was really before Aero was a big player. Now with this side draft, our cars are big and heavy. I think the top lane, the middle lane and moving up, you're going to find some grip and find some momentum.
The only thing I don't like, Vince, about Eckes rolling in behind Rhodes is he opens himself up for Kraus to run into him. But they wanted to team up and push each other. He's going to give him a good push, get him out clear of Kraus, and then hopefully follow along.
I like that game plan.
Yeah,
yes,
that's DiBenedetto right behind the two ThorSport trucks on the outside. Back green at Gateway.
Yeah, they broke apart. They didn't quite get the big push they both wanted, but leaders are now single file.
Boy, Kraus is right there in that second spot. Here comes Eckes around the outside trying to get third from Corey Heim, and he does so.
I think Heim wanted to fall in line right there. I think he wanted to get to the outside and get in that draft.
Who you're rooting for, but if it's Ben Rhodes, you're feeling pretty good about things. But I tell you what, Derek Kraus just keeps hanging around.
I think he's good on the short run, and then it seems like he drops off pace just a little bit. We'll have to see how this plays out. I mean, his best career finish is second at Darlington last September.
You know who won that race when he was second at Darlington?
Come on, are you throwing that softball? You teeing it up for me?
It's yours.
Ben Rhodes?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm learning at this deal.
Well, a lot of great battles here. Chase Purdy is trying to get around Matt Crafton very aggressively, too. It's hard to hold that bottom, as we've seen all day long. But he goes in there confidently and stomps the gas and takes that spot away from Crafton.
Oh, Chandler Smith right there, too. And we've heard on the radio Smith's run out of patience as he's had to go from the back to the front multiple times.
I'll tell you, those boys are battling hard, and these refires on the tires, this guy makes a mistake, this guy gets checked up. It's like you want to just complete a normal pass, but this track won't let you do that. That's how cool this place is starting to race.
Excuse me, Mike.
I was going to say Chase Purdy just ahead of Matt Crafton there. They say there's horses for courses. His career best finish was 6th here last year, and now he's running in the top 10. 7th right now. Lost some ground there in 1 and 2 as Matt Crafton pulled back to his tailgate.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Chase Purdy, and we've talked quite a bit today about Derek Kraus up in that second spot in the 19 truck, but I like what Purdy has done. Jordan Anderson has had a good day today. There's Jake Garcia, a little bit of an issue as came off some contact.
That's a tough break. I mean, he was doing so good, 14th, 15th. First race.
Tanner Gray.
Sandwich.
Yep.
That's a tough slide for Tanner Gray.
Camping World 20 to go as Garcia tries to limp it back to pit road, and Derek Kraus tries to chase down Ben Rhodes.
And he's gaining on him, Vince. We saw Rhodes with that nice advantage before the caution. Ben Rhodes is getting heated up. Wonder what he's thinking right now.
Low on something, but I have no idea what he said.
Can't understand what he's saying.
Me neither. Get ready in here, guys, just in case.
Here, buddy, I can't understand you. Just keep focusing forward here.
He's lost something. I don't know what he's trying to communicate, but obviously the power's going down. And here we go around the outside.
Yep.
For the lead, Derek Kraus.
Might have
and
lost
certainly
third gear.
issues for the 99 of Rhodes.
Man,
Jamie.
And right before that radio communication on the 99, I did understand that he said, I'm tight center, and that's where he's making up the most time on me. Struggling there, and you heard the talk right before Kraus took the lead.
Like Kraus went around like Rhodes, like Ben was having a mechanical.
that's what it looked like to me, but this is huge for the playoffs as far as this win, possibility for Kraus. That's huge.
Oh, Matt Crafton, the last thing Matt Crafton wants to see is Derek Kraus win this race, because if Kraus would happen to win, Crafton would be on the outside looking in.
And he is battling back in this 8th position with Chase Purdy. Not in a spot to even probably see what just happened up front, and that's probably best for everybody. He doesn't want to have that issue.
Corey Heim continuing to try to make his way past Matt DiBenedetto. They're battling for 4th, and there's Johnny Sauter right behind in 6th. So Heim secures that position from Matty D in the 25 truck.
Yeah, again, look at that. The momentum on the outside of turns 1 and 2. Sauter's able to make that pass, and man, just the way that Kraus again was able to take the lead. It's definitely something up with the 99, but he's still right there, half a second behind.
Derek Kraus in the lead with 16 to go as he crosses the line. Started at the very back of the pack. He did not get to qualify. They had an issue through tech, had to go back through, did not get to make a qualifying attempt, started dead last.
And at Darlington in 2020, he ran 2nd, was leading late. Just a couple laps to go, and Ben Rhodes put him away. See if he can hang on today. You remember what happened last Friday night in Charlotte?
Yeah, we don't need to be jinxing anybody, okay? Just let it play out, Mikey.
Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar just outside the top 10. Hocevar, you see that damage there on the right side. And at one point he said, why does everybody keep running into me? It's been one of those days for Hocevar.
And Zane Smith was 2 laps down. And now here he is in a position to get a top 10.
And he's been doing this on the same set of tires as far as the wave arounds, 2 laps down. I mean, he's going to make something out of this as far as points. It's just a crazy day with a lot of the big names having trouble.
When you mention the points, and as Ben Rhodes, you see the pylon there with Rhodes running 2nd. John Hunter Nemechek came into this race with the regular season points lead. Nemechek is in the garage out after crashing. So Rhodes is going to regain the points lead in the regular season. And if you win that regular season title, 15 playoff points come as a bonus, and it is huge. So this, as you said, Kurt, is a big turn of events in that regard.
Yeah, you get to carry those 15 points with you through each of the rounds if you keep advancing. And then with Kraus, possible winner, playoff picture really is beginning to unfold right in front of us.
Rhodes on the outside, Eckes inside in the 98. Thor Sport teammates for 2nd. Tanner Gray bringing it to pit road.
Yeah, that's from that contact that he had earlier.
Yeah, with Garcia off turn 4, and then like you said, we've seen everything. Teammates take each other out today. Hopefully these guys keep it clean.
Eckes in that 98, arguably the hottest driver in the series. I mean, he came in with 3 straight top 5 finishes, and he's working on another one today as he runs 3rd.
I mean, this pass for 2nd, if there's another yellow, this could be huge with Eckes making the move and clearing him and getting up to 2nd spot. I mean, it's just a nice, good momentum run through 3 and 4 on the low side, and is able to work his way by. And I think Rhodes, you know, that's teammate courtesy. I like that move on Rhodes' part.
Yeah, Eckes 4th last week at Charlotte, 2nd the week before at Texas, ran 5th at Kansas, and here he is in second today, and he's chasing down Derek Kraus. But does he have enough speed in that Toyota Tundra? Can he get Kraus here in the final 10 or 11 laps?
Oh, I think he just threw the fishing line and it hooked on the back of the 19 truck. We'll see if he can reel him in, but I'm watching that right there on the pylon. It was 0.9. Now it's 0.6. We're going to have 10 to go.
And you talked about the hottest driver. He's done a great job week in and week out as Chandler Smith picks up another one. That puts him up into the top 5. Back to the front, back to the front.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Like, he's back up to 5th after all.
He's coming.
Now Corey Heim about to pass Ben Rhodes for 3rd, as Rhodes, Jamie reported, really tight in the center and losing speed, and at one point was leading and has now dropped back to 3rd and about to fall into the clutches of Heim. And Rhodes will drop down to 4th. Hey, Derek Kraus on that last pit stop took 2 tires at lap 96. Christian Eckes took 4 tires. Have you seen tires make a big enough difference that that's going to matter here in the last 10?
I just think Eckes is faster right now, and that the tires certainly would make a difference, right, Kurt?
Well, yeah, at this point they would, but at track position, the refires, I mean, all the different tangible things that come into play, it's really hard to tell. But at this point, of course, you want 4. When you're 30 laps into a run.
But you got what you got. And how about Derek Kraus? Let's talk about the emotion and the mental, trying to get his first career win. Is he, I mean, the nerves at this point playing a part, cause you maybe to miss your marks, and Eckes has been there, done that.
You got to keep your eye on that mirror, and that's you need to keep it out of the mirror, but that's exactly where your eyes want to go. Where's that guy at? Is he
just
getting
moved up last lap? You said it, Mike. You got to look in the mirror, but you don't want to. I think he looked in the mirror or a spotter. There was information relayed to the 19 about how Eckes was making the high groove work through 3 and 4. And now he's up there taking that air away from him and trying to use that high lane and put dirty air on that 98's nose. I mean, we watched this last week in the Cup race with Larson up front and with Briscoe. This is that same type of scenario. Let's see how this plays out.
Derek Kraus
chasing it. I mean, this is great. This is going to be a good battle.
Hoping that this is the day he gets his first career win. We talked at the beginning of the telecast about drivers potentially that would get their first win today. We talked about Hocevar and Majeski, and now Kraus is trying to hold off Christian Eckes so that he might get his first career win. And he's a racer. He's been racing his whole life. In fact, missed his high school graduation to run a trucks race back in 2020, and now he's trying to hold off Christian Eckes, and I don't know that he's going to be able to do it.
It's going to get big down here, but Kraus, if he can try a crossover, that's his last chance.
Nice and smooth here.
I tell you, Eckes' truck is motoring through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and he was able to do it in dirty air, and to get side by side off turn 4. That's how the 98 just won this race.
Well done, Christian Eckes.
Sorry, can't say that right away. There's still 5 to go.
I mean, we remember last week? Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to think back far, that's for sure. But Eckes at this point just wants it to stay green.
That was the way he was able to reel him in. I thought the 19 had more speed in it at this point, but it does not.
We mentioned that Eckes has had some good runs here before, all in a Kyle Busch Motorsports truck when he ran for KBM, but never really got much to show for it. His best finish here was 14th, although he'd led nearly 100 laps in the KBM trucks then, but couldn't finish the job. And well, today driving a Toyota again, but for a different team, for Thor Sport. 5 laps to go. He's closing in on that much sought after victory.
I mean, look at the top 5, though. All the great stories with Eckes, Kraus, Heim. Chandler Smith has battled back, and Sauter comes off the couch. It's so interesting on how this race is played out with all the different sequences and different restarts. Track position is still king.
Chandler Smith running 4th. But it's Eckes continuing to stretch the advantage to 8/10 now.
Taking advantage of those 2 fresher left side tires, but just a really fast truck and a really good young driver, talented young driver that has proven over the last few weeks that this team is championship material.
J. Rod Prince, the crew chief for a long time, was the truck chief on the 88 of Matt Crafton for crew chief Junior Joyner. He's moved up to the crew chief position over the last couple of years, and for Eckes himself, he's been through a lot of adversity. Didn't have a full-time ride last year, ran a part-time schedule for ThorSport. Gets the full-time chance this season, and the caution is out. Oh, Christian Eckes didn't want that.
Are you kidding me? That just happened?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And Tanner Gray comes to pit road after bringing out the caution. Wow.
And he was up in the top 5. Another one of those guys that was having a great run, made some contact with another truck, damaged his right side, and I'm sure the right front went down there after that damage.
Just when you were getting ready to go out and mow the grass or do some gardening, get right back on your couch, get in your chair.
I want to know when the last time you. I would like to know when the last time you mowed the grass was, Kurt.
That's how I made my living when I was 16 years old. $5 a yard. But this is going to get big. I mean,
well, you know how big that inside lane is. You stay side by side with a guy. I'm sure Eckes is going to take the outside, but you just open yourself up into getting hit. And desperate men take desperate measures at times, and Kraus tasted that playoff spot. He tasted that win, his first win in the Napa truck, and now he's going to get a chance to go overtime and see if he can get it.
You know, last week we saw Carson Hocevar sail it in there, desperate to get a win, and ended up wrecking Ryan Preece. Today, very similar situation. Derek Kraus got to be desperate. I mean, he's desperate for winning. He knows he has to win to get in the playoffs. Does that make Christian Eckes a little nervous?
It might make me take the inside if I was Christian Eckes, just to make sure I'm not vulnerable.
Yeah, that is a legitimate option. I mean, this is going to get bonkers again, and these tires are so fatigued. The air pressures are up so high. It's not the same type of restart that you would think you'd even be close to, and that's why these races are so exciting, so crazy at the end. I mean, can I put a blindfold on? You know, I really don't even want to watch.
Can I take you, let's put Kurt Busch behind the wheel of the 98. You're racing tomorrow in this race. What's your options, and where are you at mentally right now? Are you going to take the bottom, or are you going to take the dominant high side? And are you being able to clear everything out of your brain and just focus on this last restart?
I mean, I'm wanting to take the top side because that's where the stats will say is the best opportunity to keep your momentum up and keep your position. You then have to evaluate who's going to be on your inside. That's Kraus. He hasn't won. Heim is going to be in this mix. Is he going to help you or hurt you? I mean, Chandler Smith is charged. You're evaluating the guys that are around you, but then you got to just stay calm, listen to the crew chief, find a little bit of a nugget that's going to give you an advantage on somebody else.
And remember, Christian Eckes has led at the white flag the last 2 races and hasn't won either one of them. And he looks to be in that situation potentially again here today.
Yeah, right now, just cool your tires, just get calm, just you always have to anticipate there's going to be another yellow. If you're upset or you're like, man, why'd that yellow come out? That's going to hurt the whole psyche of it. So let's go down to Regan. Let's check in. Let's go to pit road where we can find some calm therapy.
Well, Kurt, I don't know how calm it is down here. It's been pretty hectic all day long, actually. But you talk about the restart and what's going to happen with the 98. Well, the 19 truck's got a decision to make as well. They've struggled on the bottom trying to figure out which way they want to go. Listen to the conversation on the radio just now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards taking the top behind them. Our restarts have not really been good enough on the bottom to contend with the front row. You know, he's gone by the time we get there, so you kind of just put yourself side by side with a third place truck. Yeah, 10-4, I agree.
Okay. Well, that comes from the launch. That's like when you're in second gear, accelerating, and I haven't seen the launch on the 19 be that good. That's what they're saying right there.
You agree with that or not?
It's almost like saying I'm going to be okay with second a bit, but it's
because you don't think he can win from lining up behind Eckes.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But
we would go for it on the bottom.
I would go for it on the bottom
for sure.
Probably get loose and not win anyway, but at least I gave myself a chance.
You gave
be beside the leader in case he misses a gear or has an issue. Give yourself that opportunity.
I would go with you, Mikey. I would go on the inside if I'm the 19. I would not follow. But let's see. I mean, the 98 has to choose the outside, but he could switch it up to your original thought, Mikey, on picking the bottom. And that way you're in charge of sliding up.
It is NASCAR overtime. And we're overtime for the 6th overtime this season. You know the overtime rules. We take the green flag, and if we come back and get the white, the next flag, whether it's caution or checkers, will end the race. If the leader has not taken the white before the caution comes out, we re-rack them and do it again as many times as it takes.
You know what I love about this job, Vince? I feel like I'm in the race car or race vehicle every week we do this. I mean, my palms are sweating. I'm really anxious about what we're going to see. Who's
Mom spaghetti on your sweater?
That's right. Just having some issues over here trying to sort out in my brain what's going to happen and how this thing's going to end up. And the guy that's most interesting to me is the back to the front guy. And he's back to the front now. Let's hear what he's thinking.
I get a good start here. There's about to be a lot of hurt feeling. I'm going to do the best I can. No, you are. I wouldn't want nobody in this position than you.
They were just having a arguing match a bit ago, and now it sounds like they're pals again.
I really like Danny Stockman, the crew chief on this Chandler Smith truck, and Chris Lambert, a veteran spotter. Chandler Smith, just a teenager. He's young to the sport. I mean, he's going to make mistakes and has made some mistakes, but he has got two of the best, in my opinion, on the box and on the roof to help him get through this season.
Yeah, doesn't sound like he's planning on playing it safe. He's planning on going for it.
Well, we talked about Derek Krause, and what's he going to decide? Is he going to pick inside, or is he going to stay up top? And we're about to find out as they come to the choose zone.
He's going top.
He's going top. That left it up. That surprised the 51, and now you're kind of just seeing everybody fall in line.
So now you got two KBM teammates on the inside.
KBM trucks on the inside.
And we know the attitude of one of them.
Wow.
He said he gets a good start. And that means 3 wide into 1, Kurt. Watch for that. If the 18 truck gets the launch he wants, he'll put his teammate 3 wide in the middle.
You'd think he'd burn his teammate like that bad?
That did not work out the way Eckes wanted it to work out. I mean, he did not want to 2 KBM teammates back to back, did he? I mean,
do you think that Krause missed that opportunity as well?
Eckes radio.
Remember, buddy, you got the best truck here right now. You're faster than everybody. This is all you. Nobody can run the top like you in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. So you got this, man.
There's a lot of psychology going on right now.
You need it. These are kids. You know, they haven't been in this position. They know that what's on the line, and that's a win in one of the top series of NASCAR.
Nah. If I was a kid, I'd be like, whatever, I got this. I want this. I'm going to own this. And that's where the 98 Eckes needs to keep his truck in at least the clean rubber. Don't get up in the marbles. Don't let somebody push you up there. If he can keep that nice run off the top side, he has the possibility of clearing these guys off turn 2. But you got to get through turn 1 first. But you got to do the restart right here, right now first.
This is NASCAR overtime. Christian Eckes on the outside. Corey Heim on the inside.
Wow, look at there. KBM, they're pushing each other.
Oh, nearly wrecked each other.
Technically, they're clear. And the 51.
Here comes Chandler Smith.
I was going to say, look at that. That's awesome.
The restart under review, we're told by NASCAR, as Eckes is trying to get around Smith. Smith trying to put the block on. Not going to work for now. Eckes secures second.
And look who's in fourth.
Friesen's back.
He's back.
I mean, that could be where the KBM trucks jumped on the bottom, but it'd be interesting to see what they make as far as the call. Eckes probably took off first, and then the KBM trucks pounced.
Corey Heim with the lead, the white flag. The next flag would end it.
Got to crash in 2.
Eckes down the backstretch, and they have crashed in turn 2, and that will bring out the caution, and that will mean that Corey Heim is the winner. The restart deemed good by NASCAR, and the finish great for Corey Heim.
You know where all of that came from for Heim? It was the decision on Krause to pick in 4th spot instead of the front row. Went against what you were talking about, Mikey.
Yeah, he finished 7th too, so that didn't work out at all.
Wow.
But wow, I think maybe you got to give Chandler Smith as much credit for winning this race as you do Corey Heim. Chandler had his nose all the way up under 51's tailgate and got him that great launch.
Well, there have been some big hits. There's Tyler Hill climbing from his 5 truck. We saw Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, let's double check the restart. Let's see if they're in the zone.
They've passed the zone.
Yep. It's a launch by the 98, and those 2 KBM trucks just hook up and go.
Yeah, the 18 right there on the bumper, giving the 51 a great push, and then tried. I thought he was going to wreck him right here.
I mean, but he had to stay in line till the start-finish line and then try to make that move, and they were able to hold it in turn 1. A lot of times the trucks wash up.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Eckes might have spun the tires a little bit too. And
what about that commitment of Heim to block off that charge by Chandler Smith? He said, yeah, you might turn me, but I'm going to block you.
He wheeled it, and that was where there was real no looking like team orders, but KBM trucks ended up 1-3. Eckes was denied a win once again. That's a tough break.
Christian Eckes has been right there 3 races in a row, and still
and he had it before this, before that yellow. Here's the final yellow.
Kraus gets into Hocevar, it looked like, and watch this contact.
Oh man,
that's as hard as it gets.
That was big.
Man,
I'm so glad to see Tyler Hill and also Carson Hocevar get out of their trucks. The 19-year-old from Georgia. Yeah, it is winter time, second time for Corey Heim, victorious in the Camping World Truck Series. Regan Smith is down there with the winner.
Vince, what a thrilling finish to this race. Corey Heim going to go grab the checkered flag from a young fan over here.
I love that tradition, sharing the checkered, sharing the victory with the fans.
Corey getting all the equipment off. Corey, you got the bottom on the restart. Had the opportunity to have a teammate behind you. Had to fend off the teammate who made a big surge to try and get down to the bottom and put you 3 wide there. But when it was all said and done, you found a way to get it done and get your 2nd career victory.
Yeah, I can't believe I got the bottom right there. That's unbelievable. But great push by my teammate Chandler Smith right there. But you know, all the dedication to my team these past couple weeks has been just everything. I've been putting so much time and effort in to try to improve my craft. And Cowboys Motorsports, everyone back at the shop, Marty Lindley, Derek Nealon, awesome spotter, awesome crew chief. So, man, I'm out of breath right now. That was awesome.
You came here and tested. Your crew chief told me had a lot of confidence in that test and how fast it was. How pivotal was that towards this truck being so good today?
Absolutely. You know, anytime we can get the extra seat time, it's super important. I feel like I'm getting better every week. But like I said, everyone back at the shop, just phenomenal job.
Corey Heim wins in St. Louis.